Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider, and happy Eid. Tonight, we'll be talking about the all-important tourism sector in Egypt, how it is faring, and the opportunities and strategies for tourism development in our beautiful country. And with us here in the studio is Dr. Remon Samuel Naguib, and he is a touristic expert. He's a holder of a PhD in hospitality management in tourism from Switzerland. Very good evening to you, Dr. Naguib, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening and happy feast. I hope that all the Egyptians are enjoying the feast. And I know that nowadays it's a holy period, and I wish everybody joins and happy.
Indeed, and the beauty, as always in Egypt, it's holy days for Muslims and Christians here in Egypt, the country of love and peace and tolerance. Dr. Naguib, how is the tourism sector faring at the moment? This is a very important sector to the Egyptian economy. It's a creator of millions of jobs directly and indirectly. It's something that brings foreign currency to Egypt. How is it faring at the moment in the midst of the huge challenges that we are facing in the region? The barbaric Israeli aggression on Palestinians in Gaza, what's happening in the Red Sea, and the Houthi attacks, and other factors, including the slowdown in the global economy since the Russia-Ukraine war, and before that, the COVID, of course.
Thanks God that Egypt always secured by God, and now we do have good business in general tourism. Last year we closed 2023 more than 14.9 million tourists.
So that's 15 if we round it.
It's actually 15 and $15 billion income, and as you know that
$1,000 per visit.
Client, yeah. And the good news that this is the highest number since long time, since 2010. Actually, this higher figures than 2010. Yes, what's happened affect a little bit the demand to Egypt, but still we have a good seasons for next summer. Have been affected from the Israeli-Gaza issue, and also from what's happened in Red Sea. But in general, Egypt, because there is a demand always for Egypt, because clients, we have a lot of repeaters coming from different destinations, knows how the situation is stable in Egypt, and there's a good relationship between Egypt and most of the countries. This gives us a push.
All of the countries, really.
Yes. Yeah. And because when we talk about tourism, you will see that most of our business coming from Europe. At least 45% coming from Europe, 30% from the Arab countries, and the rest from the rest of the world, China and States and South America. For us, this year we expect that the second half will be better than the first half, especially for the beach tourism. Also, Cairo will have a good portion of business, and the newcomer, which is North Coast, now it's a star in the tourism now.
Sure.
We're starting with Alamein now. It's a hot spot that all the world now is looking for it, especially after the new investment which happened in Ras Al Hikma. And I think this will be an add for the Egyptian tourism.
For sure.
In general, what we see is that it will be a good season. Not as we expected. We expect it to be better, but we are very optimistic about the season, because clients have a confidence about Egypt and about the destination.
Right. Dr. Naguib, dear viewers, allow us to watch a report on our topic for tonight, and then come back and continue our discussion.
Minister of Tourism and Antiquities Ahmed Isa conducted a series of inspections as part of his ongoing oversight of the country's cultural heritage sites. The minister was also briefed on the latest developments at the Museum of Hofus boats, where restoration work is underway on both the first and second solar boats. Following the meeting, Isa toured the Museum of Hofus boats, inspecting the visitor area's services and the dedicated space showcasing the boat's history and restoration process. Isa then concluded his day with a visit to the Giza Pyramids area, where he inspected King Farouk's rest house. The visit is aimed at assessing the building's structural condition and exploring the possibility of its restoration and transformation into a cultural center. The minister's inspections underscore the Egyptian government's commitment to preserving and promoting the country's rich cultural heritage for the benefit of future generations and international visitors. Earlier, Minister Ahmed Isa has said that Egypt's share of global tourism grew by 33% in 2023 compared to 4 years prior, recording 1.2% in 2023, up from 0.9% in 2019. Minister Isa said Egypt is pressing ahead with plans to enhance hotel capacity nationwide to meet the projected accommodation demands in the coming years, as it seeks to increase the number of incoming tourists to 30 million by 2028. Incoming tourism to Egypt hit a record-breaking 14.9 million tourists in 2023, including 3.6 million tourists visiting the countries in the fourth quarter of 2023. Egypt's tourism revenues hit a record high of $13.6 billion in the fiscal year 2022-2023, up 26.8% from $10.7 billion in the fiscal year 2021-2022.
Welcome back, and thank you, Rasha Abdelhamid and Abir Hussein, for this report. We are here in the studio with Dr. Remon Samuel Naguib, the touristic expert. Now, Dr. Naguib, we were talking before the report about the expectations for this year, and the fact that the situation regionally will probably hamper some of these expectations. Although there is nothing to fear about Egypt. I mean, Egypt is one of the safest countries in the world. And what's happening in the Red Sea is not really, tangibly, is not affecting Sinai. And what's happening even on our eastern border, the barbaric aggression by the Israeli occupation against the Palestinians is not hampering the safety and the security of the beautiful Sinai. So what can we say to the world and to diffuse any potential fears?
Actually, this is one of the strategies that we use it during crisis. I wouldn't say it's a crisis, but this is normally what we say if there is any defect happened after any kind of war or special events. We always looking for how we can promote the country in such period. The point is that if we as a country says we are safe, this is not a good message. And even the client won't accept it.
But we are safe.
Yes, we are safe. But if you would like me to promote it, I'm going to get clients or travelers who are existing in Egypt, and they are the one who must talk human-to-human promotion. It's better than country-to-human promotion or whatever media, because when human-to-human and from the same nation shows that he's enjoying, that everything is stable, I think this would be more realistic, number one, and the clients will be confident that when he see another one of his nation is talking about this nation, will take it seriously. But if we announce Egypt is safe, yes, there is a kind of strategy that always says safe, safe, safe. So in your mind, you will feel that the area is safe. Yes, this one
and
of the strategies. Yes, but another way, which is I think it worked well, that you start to do as kind of documentaries, a kind of meetings or interviews with clients in the destination, shows the destination worldwide. Like sometimes there is, at the social media, you do a live. broadcasting from Hurghada, from Sharm, while people enjoying, playing, eating. So this would give
So
an
you're telling
impression.
us that, for instance, when the Croatian football team came to Egypt and when Modric, the superstar, and his Croatian teammates were at the site of the pyramids, that this is something that gives us publicity more than what the official media is saying.
Yes, and actually what you're saying, it's one of our strategies when we promote a destination, we use a celebrity, we use an event. So these events are very critical because these events give a very positive message, indirect message that the destination is safe. When there is an exhibition, like a cup, when it had been happening. Nowadays, we must invite presidents, we invite governments to come in Egypt and do exhibition or meetings or the kind of events, or even it can be not.
This is what you call the conferences tourism.
Yeah, because this kind of tourism, this helps us as a country and give a positive message. And we always looking that if there is a negative message, you must have a positive message so it can diffuse the hurt of the negative message. Yeah.
Even if that negative message is unfounded. But Egypt is always has been prone to receiving negative messages that in many cases are unfounded.
Actually, there is certain, I think there is certain countries, maybe, I don't know, maybe entities who would like to have this message existing to hurt the economy of Egypt. And this is very clear because when you are hurting tourism, and as you mentioned, it's one of the top 3 foreign currency sources.
Yes, of course.
So you are hurting the heart of the country. And I believe this, I think it's kind of...
Okay, understood. So the type of sport I was the type of tourism I was mentioning was the sports tourism, of course, when Egypt hosted that international FIFA-sponsored football tournament, and Croatia was here. Along with Tunisia and New Zealand, and Modric, of course, and his teammates went to the pyramids. Now, so we have the conferences tourism, which has been picking up in Egypt recently. We have the sports tourism. We have every type of tourism in Egypt, right? Every single type: religious tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, beach tourism.
Actually,
so we must have 30 million visitors, not 15 per year.
Actually, you break my heart when you are talking about this, because Egypt well known for 2 kinds of tourism. Or the main tourists come for Egypt for a beach destination and for the culture. And the twin culture, it's a heritage one, when they are going to the Luxor and Aswan, the pyramids, and this kind of classic tourism. But as you mentioned, there is more than 35 types of tourism existing in Egypt, which we can promote. But
35?
Yes, and we can focus on it.
Tell us about that. I mean, most of us only know like 10 or something. So,
but for example, I'm gonna. It's related to the trends, because now the trends make a type of tourism. For example, if we are talking about silent tourism, this is a new type of tourism. Silent tourism. Clients going to an area where there is no people, no hectic areas. And this is available in Egypt. If you go to the south area on Sinai, or the north Sinai, or you're going in Gemsha, or you're going to Oasis, this is a silent destination where you can enjoy your life, because it's a primitive life. And this is what you are looking for. And this the demand for this increasing because of the hectic of life. Now clients or travelers would like to go to a destination where they can have a relaxation and enjoying silence.
It seems to be a promising market.
Yes, and another type of the retreats or the wellness. And this wellness, there is many type of wellness. It's a medical type of, it's a kind of gymnastic types, or there is a types which is they go for diets, because if we go for wellness, it's a huge area where we can improve the client health, and this now a trend all over the world. Dark tourism.
What is dark tourism?
The dark tourism, where the clients or travelers go to a destination had a war. You know, in Alamein there was a war since long time. And
World War II, yeah.
Yeah, there's tombs there for their grandfathers and the grandparents. So they can come for this area, and this is called a dark tourism, where there was a war in it, there was a big event on it, and they visited. And this is known as dark tourism. Also caves tourism.
Every piece of Egypt is a piece of history.
Yes.
Every place in Egypt has a piece
caves
of history.
tourism. You know that Egypt have more than, I think, well-known, 10 to 13 amazing caves that can attract travelers to come to these caves. And it's well-known worldwide. But we don't promote it, correct?
So there is an issue with marketing. We need to develop marketing.
I can tell you something. We are, as Egyptian, we don't know our country.
Many of us, yeah.
If you ask a student or ask about a certain city in Egypt, they don't know it. They didn't visit it. Though we are living in the same country. Think about foreigner was away 6, 7, 10 hours by flight. The competition is very high worldwide. And everyone would like to show his uniqueness. And in Egypt, every spot, as you mentioned, there is a unique selling point that you can use it. But we have a lack of loving our country. This is what I feel, because if I love my country, I'm going to promote it myself. I won't wait that the country promotes itself, or the government will promote it.
So we need more about tourism in curriculums, in elementary education, in secondary education, in higher education.
And inviting. You know, one of the points which make the tourism increasing in Turkey, they start to go to schools in Europe and start to inviting the kids for free to come to Turkey. So when the kids coming, which is in the school, and they are going to get their parents with them. So they invite the kids for free, but parents paid. And this create awareness about the destination. And this is how we must be smart. Camps. Why we don't go for universities worldwide? Invite them for camps. Once he came, he's gonna pay money. He's gonna buy something. He's gonna know your culture. And when he return back with memory, we return back. Correct? Because when he return back to his country or taking shots at his social media, what's going to happen? He's going to spread the awareness about the destination indirectly, and this an unpaid marketing. Correct?
But you're saying that we first need more awareness here at home.
Yes. We must start. Always, when we are talking about tourism, I said, we must do a kind of promotion internal, so it's easy to do it external. Because the awareness is very important even for the people at the street. When they meet a traveler or tourist, how they treat him, how they deal with him, how to act with his culture. Because the multicultural sometimes we have a problem in communication because we don't understand
the language barrier sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, in certain areas, maybe the habits in certain areas, the understanding for the behavior of the traveler, because each country have its own behavior and the culture, and we must understand it to interact with.
Now. Of course, if we look at Egypt's capabilities and potential and heritage and what it possesses, then the natural goal should be a tourist for every citizen, like 100+ million tourists. But obviously, we need to do much more in many areas to get close to that level. What are the areas, Dr. Naguib, that you believe we should focus on to try to even get close to what we deserve, because Egypt deserves much more?
First, what you mentioned is, actually the country now have a strategy. We have Egypt strategy 2030, whereas the strategy is to have 30 million travelers by 2030. And this one of the points which is the country is heading. But in my point of view, you mentioned we need one tourist for each client.
We deserve that.
For each citizen, yes.
We deserve that.
For me, I wouldn't say that. I'm going to say in another, I need $100 revenue for each citizen. Because if we are talking about numbers, it's better to understand the formula of numbers. Yes, I'll be happy to have 30 million, but how much they are going to spend in Egypt? How much the government or the country is going to benefit from their existence? Remember that in certain countries, now they are against having tourism, and the over-tourism crisis. In Spain, they stopped increasing the number of tourists, because if you see what's happening, that you will have 30 million, for example. You have now in Egypt 107 or 110, okay? So you must have foods for another 30 million. You need electricity, internet, infrastructure.
But they won't come at the same time.
No, but I'm talking about but in a year. What we are talking in a year to have it. So before I'm thinking about to have a 30 million, no, I need to have a $30 billion from 10 million. I'm going to tell you a small story about this. Kenya, they have yearly 2 million travelers. Every year, they don't increase the number, although there is a good demand for Kenya. What's happening? They need every year to increase the revenue from the 2 million. So every the 2 million getting us 3 billion. No, next year I need the 2 million with 4 billion. So our focus must be on the economic direction, not on the numbers, but for the revenues.
Okay.
This
Understood.
Yes.
How do we do that? Yeah.
How to do it? I have some formulas. We have now 15 million.
Billion. 15 million?
That getting
brings
15 billion.
15 billion, yeah.
But what I'm thinking, how next year from the same 15 or 16 million
to get 20, say. Yeah. Billion.
Very simple. Number one, think about the stay. The client staying in Egypt average 5 nights. This is average. In the resorts, 7 to 10 nights. And in city center, sometimes for the long trips, 3 to 5 nights. Okay? So if I'm extending their stay, I gain money.
Right.
Same client, but staying. And
even if one extra
night.
night, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a good percentage of the...
15%, let's say.
Okay,
yeah.
so 2 nights is 30%. So from the same customer, if you increase his stay, I'm benefiting, correct?
Sure.
Without having a new infrastructure, correct? Which costs me a lot of money. And there is no more headache. So expanding and this can be...
So make some changes to the programs, to the
programs incentivize the client to stay more. If you stay, for example, in a hotel 5 nights, the next 2 nights you will get a discount, you will get an add value, will be... There is a lot of way how we can make the clients change his mind to stay. Okay, offering a different destination in the program, offering a new type of tourism in the same program, instead of just promoting a culture tourism, we say a beach and culture. And now there is a trend worldwide, the leisure, business and leisure. So inviting people to come in a conference, and then he can stay 3 extra nights.
Since you mentioned beach and culture, this is happening somehow in Sinai at the moment, in southern Sinai, because of the new museums we built there, right?
Yes. And I think this was very smart from the country that they mix it. But in general, to having different stops, one of the tourism type, by the way, train trips. Very popular in Europe now that they are traveling by train, not by flight, because they are enjoying the nature. So we don't have
sightseeing, sightseeing.
A certain kind of clients would like to go to the green area, enjoying the village, and staying in the homes of the Egyptian, cooking with them, seeing the real life, and this available in Egypt, and this will cost us a lot of money. Sharing homes.
You gave some very nice ideas about how to increase the revenue from the same number of visitors without increasing the spending in infrastructure. But does that mean that we don't need to increase spending on tourism infrastructure?
We need. But I'm going to give you the solution without investments, because nowadays...
Without causing a burden on the budget.
Yes. Another point, which is about a destination. North Coast. We had built the plan to have 15,000 rooms in North Coast. The seasonality of the North Coast, 3 months.
It could be 6, by the way.
Yeah. Expanding the seasonality. This is another formula which is very easy.
Especially with the global warming, especially with the fact that many of the year's months are now hotter than they used to be. So I guess from April, we can start from April until October, maybe. I don't know.
I can tell you something. In 2023 was the hottest year ever all over the world. This year, 2024, was 82% of the clients would like to go to a cool destination. So the North Coast is not a cool destination. So promote it as a cool destination because a lot of clients will be happy to go there. Not even in summer, but you can expand this in winter. And by the way, it's not even 6 months, it can be a year. If we start to do a certain events like the sports events there in a month, we must have, by the way, we do have, I say a lake in our type of thinking about how to promote our country. We don't have a calendar of events for Egypt. In any country, you will have a calendar where you say, in June, I go for this kind of tourism, and in August, I'll go for this fashion show, and this is a fixed program, so you have this calendar with each destination, what they can offer, and we don't offer the same activity on the same months in the same area. No, every area have its own character, promote it. I know that in Spain they promote a tomato festival.
Right, correct. I was just thinking about that, believe it or not.
Yes, but in Egypt, what we have in Egypt, we can have the Orange Festival because we are one of the
leader
in
exporting.
Dates. We do have beautiful dates, so we can promote it and we sell it. So you can come see how we, you can create a story about it, correct? And attract the clients to come and enjoy. And because it's all about experience. It's not about that they take anything when they are leaving. They're taking the experience, some videos, nice.
So it's back to marketing and promotion again.
Okay. So this is the second thing.
And the ideas.
Seasonality, to increase the seasonality is another issue. Shopping. We do have now a concept called all-inclusive in the Red Sea. By the way, 60% to 65% of the total business coming to Egypt going to the beach, and the beach now is all-inclusive concept. We are one of 4 destinations all over the world offering the all-inclusive. Unfortunately, this all-inclusive is harming the economy. Why it's harming the economy? Because the clients who are traveling for all-inclusive don't want to pay any penny outside the hotel. Just he pay in advance an amount inside his castle or inside the hotel. Don't go out, don't spend it direct to the economy. And this hurts the economy of Egypt. Because one of the beauty of the tourism, that the tourist, when he's going to the destination, he would like to go to eat in a restaurant and spend money using a taxi and paying to the taxi driver. So it's bringing the money all over the economy. But now it's all
all
inside,
inclusive.
yes. The balloon or the bubble, which I call it a bubble. So how Egypt is going to make money if the client inside the bubble? So I recommend that we do have attractions. This is what we miss in Egypt. We don't have attractions. If you go to a destination like...
More attractions, yes.
Hurghada, Marsa Alam. What you can do in Marsa Alam? There is shopping? No. There is an area where you can enjoy cinema? No. You can find a place, you can have opera? No, because there is certain clients who would like to have opera. There is a place where you can watch matches or competition matches? No. He can find the horse riding in the desert? No. Camel riding in the desert? No. Balloons? No.
Although all of this could be easily afforded.
Yeah, and I can tell you something. This an extra money will be injected at the country, and will get you a higher revenue because this a direct revenue coming from the tourist into your pocket. And many destinations study how to attract this money, and they study the nationality. Each nationality have its own needs, likes, habits. And really, in certain, I know certain, they have a research department who are start to get each destination, each client, each age group, and start to define how we can get money from his pocket. We don't have this. So my recommendation to have this.
Is the private sector the dominant force in tourism in Egypt?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is how the government can get money from the taxes? Or is it because that we have a strategy to encourage and endorse and subsidize tourism that the government doesn't get enough tax money from the private sector
It's
companies.
not about taxes. It's about, and the government, when they are looking for tourism, they're looking for more wide vision about tourism. Tourism can, in tourism now we have 4 million worker or employee. And each employee is a headache for the country. Because in order to afford for an employee opportunities, this is a headache on the country. But the tourism can expand and having a huge, because I can tell you something. We have more than 27 industry working with tourism.
27
yes,
industries.
Because if you check when the client is going to the hotel, you buy linen, correct? You buy medicine sometimes, food, beverage. Or you have an aqua park, so you need plastic, you need spoons. If we go in details, we are in connection with more than 27 industries. So when the client is coming, there is 27 industry gain out of it. Plus more employees, yes, more taxes. But if we think about the tourism, it's a good relation between a country and the country. If, for example, if you have 2 million from Germany coming to you and you are one of the top 3 or 4, means that this will affect your positive relationship. And it's not like this only. I can tell you Turkey what they are doing. Turkey in December, I'm sorry to give you examples about other countries, but always we must think out of our
shell.
Yes. Turkey, for example, they inviting in December, the drop season, for example, because the weather is very cold. They inviting like 200 traders, inviting accommodation, flights, staying for 1 week, nice program for free. Why? Because these traders going to factories to show them the new factories, the new fashions, and then they buy from them with billions. So I invite the trader doing a kind of marketing, but when he is leaving, he bought or have done deals with factories to export certain items. For that reason, this is helping the country to trading. So this is a kind of trading tourism. But did we do this? We easily can do it. Easily can do it. But the idea is that I spend $2,000, but the company, the country, and the private sector got more than millions of dollars because they are now using this kind of tourism. This out of the box. This is what they are doing.
The ideas.
Yes, small ideas, small ideas, and it helping you. For example, one day I talked about the educational tourism. Imagine that we have 3 billion Muslim, correct? Worldwide, I think.
Almost.
I think this number. And you have Azhar. It is the hot spot for Muslims, correct? This the holy place where everyone would like to have education there. Did you use this or use the Azhar to invite Muslims to come and stay for 1 week to teach them, to give them information about their religion? And this is a kind of tourism. We didn't think about it. Did we think that
Actually, it's almost 2 billion, so just almost 2
yes,
2
I'm
billion.
sorry,
Yeah,
it's
almost.
2 billion, yes.
Yeah.
And did you think that, but I think they started to have universities, foreign universities in Egypt. Instead the Arab going to UK or Spain to learn there, they can have their education in Egypt with this international brand. I think they start to do it in Galala, they started, and this was very smart from Egypt that attract
Education tourism.
Yes. If we think about all small details, this can be a point of attraction for Egypt. But we need to have a plan and start to think in tiny subjects and do plan for it. Then you can attract billions.
So is it that we are thinking too safe? I mean, do we have a tendency here in Egypt not to take risks?
No, it's not about risk. I think it's about vision. It's about going after opportunities. Because the opportunity is there, but nobody is digging out of this opportunity and try to have the right. I think the issue is need a leader in tourism because, as you mentioned, it's a private sector
Leading the way.
Yes, for that reason, for me, if I'm in charge or I have the capability, I must have a small research and doing just reports about the opportunities for investors. Just highlight.
So which sectors of tourism, Dr. Naguib, you believe have more opportunities, and where are we faring close to our potential, and where do we need to do a lot more to fulfill our potential? Sector by sector, I mean, when it comes to tourism.
Wellness.
Types of tourism.
Yes, wellness. Wellness now, after the COVID, now everybody would like to have a better life. And the weather of
Healthier
Egypt,
life,
yes. The weather of Egypt, capabilities of Egypt and the locations. Even we do have a good medical stuff here, and it's easy to promote this. For example, the dentals. Travelers going to Turkey to do certain surgery, and they paying thousands of dollars just to implant their hairs. And now Turkey is well known for this. But Egypt, we have best dentals ever, and insurance for dentals, it's out of insurance all over the world. So any client of you says that you are gonna do all your dentals for this small number of, I think it's very cheap in Egypt compared to the dollar now. The $100 now is 5,000. So imagine if you are going for a dental just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes just to see you pay like $1,000. Just he do nothing. So I think this kind of tourism we can attract, and it's easy and safe, and we have a lot of good doctors in this sector.
Of course.
If we are talking about which I'm focusing, the educational tourism, because I see there's a huge opportunity for us, especially for Africa. Africans going to UK and France and different countries to have their education there, because there is a lot of rich people in Africa. But why they don't come to Egypt? It's shorter, cost is nothing, and we have a huge, nice number of universities now in Egypt, correct? So why we don't promote the education tourism to the Africans? Anybody think about it? I can tell you something about seasonality, which I missed. In summer, Luxor and Aswan, we have this lovely night cruise. And we know that it works in winter, and in summer, there is no business because the weather there is very hot. But why don't we promote the summer season to the Africans where they have the same weather? They will come if we offer them come to night cruise, see our monuments.
Right.
You will get money. Right. And now, instead of having 8 months season, you will have 1 year season. Just you change your mindset, you change your way of promotion, you change your direction, you will make money. And how much you are going to spend? You will build more hotels. You don't need this, but you need to use what you have.
Very nice ideas, Dr. Naguib, that you are giving. So what are the challenges that we are facing, other than the fact that we have to think out of the box, and what other challenges do we have?
We must believe in our country. This is what we must believe what we offer. I remember that I'm traveling, I travel like more than 140 trips in 30 countries during my last 26 years. I visit countries and cities which is amazing names. When you heard about it, Canarian Islands, you hear about Spanish beaches, and we have better products than some. Really, we have better beaches than some. We have better. We have labor. The Egyptians have a very amazing attitude, smiling.
Very charming, yes.
Yes, smiling, offers the service with love. Go to these countries. Really, you will be impressed that Egyptians are born with a spirit of service. If you go to Dubai, it's multi-nations there, and really it's very cold. I'm sorry, I love Dubai, I love the people there, they are doing fantastic. I'm not talking about the country, but I'm talking about the labor itself. If the Egyptian, if you compare it to Indian or Asian.
You're thinking now about exporting Egyptian laborers.
Yes, this is one of my dreams. Now we have 106 million, okay? And we have half of our population are yes.
More than half, yeah.
Yes. So why we don't start to educate them well and use them to be our ambassadors in tourism in all of Europe? For example, last year, I know in summer that Germany stopped certain flight trips because they don't have enough labor at the airports. And this year, they start to have labor from Turkey, from India, UK from India, and Turkish from and German from Turkey. Why we don't use our Egyptian? And they are traveling, working, getting money, helping their families, helping the country. Because what I see for our immigrants or the people who are working now in the Saudi area or this Gulf area, I think there is a limitation now because there is Sa'awada, which is they'd like to have more. So there is no more place for Egyptians there. So why we don't use them in Europe where they are looking for labor? Really, I think this will be...
In Dubai, as you mentioned.
Dubai, yes, as well. Many countries, Oman now would like to have more laborers. All Europe now need labor. So we must think out of just getting business. We can get money from tourism, even with...
by exporting laborers. Yes. Again, very nice ideas, Dr. Naguib. So as we close out, finally, what do you expect for the upcoming period, especially that we don't know when the official inauguration of GEM will be, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which has been described as the greatest or the biggest cultural city in the world, and not just the biggest museum. Tell us how you are looking forward to this and how this could change the map or add to Egypt's rich tourism infrastructure.
Yesterday I was at the gym, first time. I was inviting for iftar. Really, I'm proud of what Egypt have done. One of the unique points which Egypt will be proud of it. Really, it's amazing, amazing. It's $1 billion investment. And what I saw yesterday, we all as Egyptians will be proud of the gym. As far as I know, it will be by November. They are going to start open the doors by November. And I believe this will be an ad to attract a lot of tourists, because in one place you have thousands of monuments and thousands of historical monuments there. A lot of people will come and enjoy it. And when we promote, I think it will be a good point of attraction for Egypt and would help Egypt to have more clients.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Dr. Remon Samuel Naguib, a touristic expert, PhD in hospitality management and tourism from Switzerland. It's been a great pleasure having you with us. And happy Eid. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear viewers, for watching Business Insider. This is Mohammed Abdurrahim, and this is goodbye. Happy Eid.